to the top left of the map. We currently see our Zerg player. He's starting for the Slayers team. Has still the hope to advance to Code S. His ideas.
Slayers YugiOh.
YugiOh, very young player, great for Slayers. Starts his Overlord, faces his opponent. Terran player formerly of OGS, moved to MTW. A lot of great success in Europe. Strong player in Korea as well.
MTW SuperNova.
Well, SuperNova has shown a lot of command center first. It's possible for him to continue this trend. On a two-player map against a relatively aggressive player though, I would, if I were advising, I would advise against it. And I think he is going to start that barracks now. Boom.
This is going to be a very interesting match. Because I feel that YugiOh has now a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He knows that he still has a chance of advancing here, so does SuperNova. SuperNova actually the player who I thought would be one of the dominant factors in these games. This group was not the case thus far. But for YugiOh, it's basically his chance to break out of Code A once again and get into Code S. The king of Code A might be able to advance here. And nerves are an issue for him. That's something that Sarah mentioned in the past.
Yeah, and I think he's looked a little bit nervous in some of his games, making a few mistakes. For example, in his game against Happy, just deciding to skip the Baneling Nest. It may not have even been intentional. He may have actually just been thinking about so many other things, trying to get so many hatcheries up, so much production up, just forgot to build it all together. It's not a very expensive structure to make. SuperNova is going to go likely command center before second depot here. He's making it on the high ground, which is a safer choice, as he does not have any scouting information of his opponent.
What do you think is YugiOh doing this time? What would you expect?
If I actually would make a prediction, I would say a very similar style to what we saw on Entomb Valley. Just trying to tech up quickly and then add the extra production facilities. That's a style that he seems to really be good at. He really knows how to control the map with Zerglings, but he will not be able to skip the Baneling Nest this time. He's taken gas, just basically the identical timing as in Entomb Valley.
His problem was definitely this aggressive drop by his opponent, by Happy, who is now already in Code S. SuperNova, on the other hand, now being supply blocked for a few seconds while he's waiting for the supply depot and of course also his command center to finish. And he once again builds the command center on the high ground, playing it very safe here. I would actually see YugiOh going for a little bit more of an aggressive build this time and not trying to go for the longer macro game, especially against a player like SuperNova. We'll find out soon enough. Gas is now at 60. He wants to have at least the early speed against his opponent.
Yeah. And see what he wants to do is 16 gas away from making that pull choice. There's a third hatchery. Gonna send two lings up here, and actually SuperNova, he makes 6 until SuperNova's on the high ground, so he's safe. And the pull is not made. Continues to mine, just as we saw in the Entomb Valley.
Yeah, he still gets gas. He has the speed already on its way. Doesn't pull any drones out at all.
I'm going to watch that worker count very carefully and see if he decides to stop worker production. He really wants to be aggressive with these lings. He's going to force the command center. Oh, he doesn't stick around. I thought he was going to try to deny it landing.
Now 26 harvesters and still gets additional one. Doesn't put this gas too much use though.
Yeah, no Baneling Nest, no Roach Warren. He may start one or both of those things very soon, but this is not looking like it.
He could also start a very fast tech if he wants to. He wants to be super greedy here and trying to pull something like that. But he's still mining gas. And this is usually when you mine this much gas, you want to do something with it. Here they come, Zerglings, additional ones. Speed is nearly done. That's a lot of lings. He apparently just wants to deal with those Hellions without using a Roach Warren at all. And no queens, no additional queens either. He has 2 queens, he doesn't even have a third.
This is strange. He is in an Overlord and sees the Cloak play. He's also a little bit struggling to defend his third base. Speed will finish and actually trap these Hellions. Overlord goes down though.
And the Cloak will be a huge problem for him.
If he doesn't start a lair, yeah.
And the third queen. There's the third queen at least. No Evolution Chamber so far and no lair indeed. Harvest is killed, 2 by YugiOh with the Zerglings that were able to sneak by here. Here comes the Evolution Chamber, so he can at least build Spore Crawlers.
Looks like he's just mining this gas to get an Infestation Pit and make Infestors, just mining it with a surplus without making extra extractors, not getting the fast lair. But it's a little bit odd, you know? There's so many Hellions here. The Spine Crawlers are going up, 2 of them in fact, but the Hellion count is quite strong. This is something that YugiOh is struggling with a little bit. The Lings chase him down, but he just doesn't have enough Lings in total. He needs to wait for more to come out. 4 more in total on the way. He's going to throw them away here, though. This is very dangerous as the Banshee is now coming with a few Marines as well.
Here come the Spore Crawlers. He is still mining gas. This doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it doesn't, man. The time for this to make sense is long past. He takes out the Queen. He's relying only on the Spore Crawlers. Another Queen comes down here, but it's just going to be targeted down by ground units.
He needs to be very careful with, because he could actually potentially lose way too much here already. Those Zerglings will have a huge problem against all of those Hellions. And the problem right now is he has 432 gas. It's not like, what do you use this gas for? There's just nothing. I think he forgot to pull the drones out. What you usually do is you just build additional extractors at some point, pull the drones out earlier, focus on minerals, build those units and those structures that you need, then get additional extractors, mine more gas at once. But now he's looking at 500 gas.
The 500 gas, not enough minerals. He will actually chase and kill most of these units. Setting the trees on fire is SuperNova as he pulls his Hellions back. The Banshee could be controlled a little bit better here, but now he's starting to pick off these drones on the right side. He's got Cloak. YugiOh has nothing to deal with this. He's making a bunch more drones. SuperNova, he flies the Banshee into a Spore Crawler again.
He's getting a 3rd base already, and now double armory actually. Whereas now we finally have for YugiOh the Baneling Nest.
Yeah, only the Baneling Nest though. Still no lair at all. I'm actually starting to find myself a little bit confused. I mean, it's as if he's going to try to make like 20 Banelings with...
Heavily supply block, by the way, as well.
Yeah. +1 is started for YugiOh.
Slowly starting to put that gas to some use, but still has 500.
Yeah, he's going to need a lot more... there's the lair. Evolution Chamber is sinking some of the gas into that as well. When the Baneling Nest is done, he can make some of those.
5 gases at once. Well, this timing is definitely off.
It's not standard. That's to say the least. SuperNova transitioning into a mech composition, as you mentioned earlier, with double armories.
He got a lot of Zerglings here, but the thing is, even if he tries to go for some kind of mid-game Baneling aggression with all those Banshees that we have...
Exactly. This is not going to be something that he can make work. Even taking out Overlords right now is going to further supply block YugiOh. He doesn't have one on the way. He just used all of his larvae for drones, so now he cannot even make an Overlord until those injects hit.
Yeah, the problem there is not really him banking up gas, but just the time for it. 500 gas having it right now. Of course, you want to hit your tech as soon as you reach lair, but you don't need to mine
Otherwise,
gas
yeah, you just want to get more drones, get more minerals in general.
In the early game, you just want to have more minerals. For the drones, for the structures, for everything that you build, for the Zerglings as well, if you get the double evolution chamber on all these buildings. So just the time that he uses a little bit off here. But he goes for the drop play. Starts these upgrades immediately. Infestation Pit as well, having a few Banelings in here, double upgrades, and still 500 gas available to him. Now we have the mech composition for SuperNova. A lot of Hellions will have the Blue Flame upgrade very soon. There it is, double upgrades with the double armory. Has already double floor building and additional Banshees now.
He needs to move his Queen. He can't actually. He doesn't have anywhere to run with it. He's not going to be able to save his Queen in the main base. There's a Queen that's at the natural. It tries to come up, but he doesn't have creep spread, so he's going to lose it. Then the Queen in the main will likely die as well. He's actually just going to go for drones instead. He's going to even be able to pick off Banelings here.
And YugiOh is getting a ton of Spore Crawlers. He already has a few, and he's getting 5 additional ones.
He's going to go for the spawning pool. There's nothing to stop him.
No, the spawning pool is going to die.
Double Spire on the way for YugiOh.
Even if he repositions his Spore Crawler, it won't work.
No. He just needs to move this Banshee slightly. There he goes, and the spawning pool is down. Double Spire is one way to spend your gas, but he still has 900. He's going to lose his Evolution Chamber, which is not too significant considering he doesn't have any use for it at this moment in time, but the bigger concern is he's going to lose his Queen again. His Queen count at 3, so he's not able to spread really any creep, and he's not able to hit all of his injects with these Queens being where they are.
SuperNova is putting on so much pressure that YugiOh is completely off his game right now.
Yeah.
He's losing units and structures left, right, bottom, and center. There is no aggression whatsoever by YugiOh because he has to defend against the SuperNova. Is completely dominating his opponent right now. He's banking up this force. He has 18 Blue Flame Hellions. He has 5 Thors. He's getting another one. We have 6 Banshees on this map. He's playing an awesome style here, and YugiOh just doesn't have an answer at all to this.
Army supply 93 to 46. The reason being is that it's 78 drones to 72 SCVs. Every drone he's lost, he's remade. But he's used all of his larva and all of his resource on that. He doesn't have any army anymore.
1,500 gas a second ago, but he lacks the minerals.
We basically have more Thors than roaches right now about to come out and fight this.
We have the Hive tech now, but he banks his hopes on his opponent not doing anything. This drop so far couldn't do anything at all, and now him moving out means that he doesn't have the units to defend.
He doesn't have anything on the ground. Even if he had those lings on the ground, what would they really be able to do against 1-1 Blue Flame Hellions? Not a whole lot. The Banshee's adding some extra DPS in here. The drop's coming back to defend, but they're not fighting, they're not dropping, they're not doing anything. He actually sends them around as if he doesn't know exactly where he wants to drop them. He wants to get these Thors, it looks like.
Well, good luck with that.
The Thor's just on a choke point. He can't even use the lings very efficiently.
He's able to close the supply gap for a second, but then the superior army is just... Well, he loses the Thors. He actually loses a lot here. I have no idea how he managed that, but still, we have all this back for SuperNova, and the 3 bases, the mining, he's just... SuperNova is still a great position.
And he can actually just take out the hatch. There's no queens to deal with this. In fact, he's only got 2 queens on the map.
In the battle itself, YugiOh did better than I thought, but now he's going to lose this hatch.
Corruptor's coming out.
Too late.
He's still going to lose it.
Yeah, he's going to kill most of those Banshees, at least 3 of them, but right now the hatch is gone.
And even no Overseer nearby for the Banshees. They pick off 2 more drones.
But the drop now at the bottom right.
He's got the turrets, just not quite ready. Thor is here though. And with the Banshee, he's going to be able to clean this up. He's basically only going to maybe kill the turrets.
He's blocking his units at the ramp though. Well, it doesn't matter too much, he loses. Does he lose the missile turret at all? Nah, it's a little bit of a weird game.
Yeah. By the way, SuperNova is dropped again at his 3rd base. He pulls his SCVs away prematurely, knowing that there were units inside the Overlord. Great reaction time there. YugiOh closing the gap in supply a little bit, and he's got the Greater Spire coming up. This has been a strange game, Kaldor. He sees the Greater Spire as well.
Yeah, you can say that again.
The Spire now down to 500 hit points. He will transfuse. And as soon as the Overseer is done here, he's going to kill the Banshee with a Corruptor.
YugiOh still has 1,000 gas. The problem for him is really his mineral account. And another Banshee just dies. Yeah. SuperNova is throwing away a little bit too many units here.
He's now got a total of only 4 Thors on the map, about to be at 6.
By the way, look at his upgrades. He's on 3-3 very soon.
I don't think he can fight this many roaches that are out on the map now, though. Even with the Banshee support, this is going to be pretty tough for him. If he fights on creep, he certainly will not be able to.
The siege tanks help him a lot, of course, a lot. But the upgrades, that's the bigger story here. They might be even in supply, but the upgrades that SuperNova has for mech, that is insane. He's about to have 3-3.
Yeah, the roaches, on the other hand, at 0-1. That means that they're basically not going to be able to put a dent in any unit they face. The Hellions run by. Oh, wow, at the top right. +2 Blue Flame Hellions coming in. Oh, yeah. My God. So many drones roasting here. And the drone splitting is non-existent.
The drones just died. I mean, how many did he lose over the course of the game? 50. SuperNova killed 50 drones so far. And here, yeah, that's the workers killed. Thanks for Legend for highlighting that once again. And now we have 160 supply against 1,700. A 4th orbital is now done for SuperNova.
7 turrets to deter this drop that's coming around the right side.
8 Thors now. With the 2 just finishing, we have 8 Thors. Will this drop be successful? That's the one thing that he can hope for. Even a 5th command center is now ready.
And he's adding Vikings in the mix, knowing the Greater Spire is on its way.
This drop could actually do a lot of damage.
It could do a lot of damage, yeah. He could kill a lot of tech labs. There's turrets here, but...
Yeah, the turrets, they're way more than
we'll see how many roaches he can get out. He's going to force SuperNova back to his main, that's for sure. And he will unload everything. If he targets down add-ons, he may be able to get those, but not much else.
Lived immediately on the orbital, and here come the Thors in the main base, as well as, of course, the Banshee that is still available. He's trying to take the add-ons down and maybe even able to take one of those armories out, but he's not really focusing anything.
Yeah, he's just kind of letting them fire at will. takes out one add-on, damages some depots, but he doesn't have the bank to remax like this. He needs resources for Broodlords, for example. He's making 8 Infestors right now. Another Roach attack goes off, though, in the middle of the map, and SuperNova is out of position since he sent everything to the main. Great multitasking here by YugiOh.
And 3-3 is now done, at least the attack upgrade. The armor upgrade will follow in just a few seconds.
Just watch, I mean, 2 Thors almost kill all these Roaches.
And now we have the siege tanks in position too. Yeah, the Thor is going to die. There have been no SCVs called in order to repair it, not a single one. Now the Infestors on the map. YugiOh is once again falling behind in supply. SuperNova looks at a 50 supply lead. He looks at an amazing bank. His problem with his composition is, of course, the gas, but he takes another base to the right side of the map. The match has been a little bit weird, and I feel that YugiOh did really a good job when the first attack of SuperNova hit. Defending against it wasn't easy, but he pulled it off. But right now, he's falling so far behind that it's basically going to be impossible for him to actually come back into this game.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a bank anymore. He can't hold this hatchery against +3 siege tanks. He's actually going to be able to siege up on top of the high ground here and start to move down slowly but steadily. He's got so many Vikings on the map. Viking count 10 to 6 Corruptors. The Infestors are the only concern for now, but those Infestors can't fight against this mech army. Look at this. He's already starting to take them down here with his Thors. Great fungal on the Vikings, though. This is a concern. He gets a second one off. And if he gets one more, that's going to be it. He actually takes out all the Vikings here.
160 against 110 supply, 3,500 minerals for SuperNova, moving in at the third. Now,
and he just doesn't have Broodlords. He has the Corruptors, he dealt with the Vikings, but he doesn't deal with the Thors.
Yeah, he has nothing. He doesn't have neural parasites, and he can neural 1 or 2 or 3 of them, and he just doesn't have anything in order to pull this off. This Satch is going to die. Then he finds himself with 2 mining bases. The main base nearly mined out. There's no... How many mineral preps are left? 2, 3? I don't know. But the thing is that he is up against 5 mining bases.
5 mining bases, 7 3/3 Thors.
Pretty weird game, but in the end, there's nothing that YugiOh can change.
He can't stop the Viking production. He can't stop the Thors here. The Thors alone, actually, maybe he'll take out the Broodlords with no Lings to support. Great attempt here by YugiOh, but at the end of the day, his economy is just too low. Scan on the Infestors. He can't actually quite catch them. And YugiOh fighting this the best he can, but he just can't hold on much longer. The Vikings are rallied across the map. He doesn't have any more Corruptors to support anymore. And look at this, is going to be the end. Yeah, this is going to be it. The few Broodlords that he has, they are dying. Dying by the second. 94 supply against 176. Gas is something that SuperNova is lacking, but just look at his minerals, and he's at 180 supply. He has more. There's 100 supply more than his opponent. Takes down everything here, and of course YugiOh is trying to hold on. He wants to have a shot at Code S, but it looks like the king of Code A is once again true to his name. Yeah. He's gonna fall. Yeah, he will fall and play another season in Code A. And the Infestors are the last stand. He's going to try to get in here and make something work with those, but the sensor tower spots them. All he has to do now is scan and kill them with Thors and SCVs. Meanwhile, the hatchery at the natural, the infestation pit, all of them dying. Dropping mules to say, please get out of my game. I got another match to play here potentially if Creator wins. And Infestor turns actually take out a Thor. But it doesn't matter because he can't take out the economy, he can't take out the army. He's now out of energy. Commanders going up all over the map, but SuperNova is desperately trying to conserve his energy here. YugiOh is not going to drag him down, but it does depend on the next match, which only will be played, or the match afterwards, the tiebreaker will only be played if Vampire loses. Exactly. If Vampire wins, then all of SuperNova's efforts were in vain. And now YugiOh is, for some reason, still holding on to this. I mean, with 21 supply, there's the GG. A very weird opening by YugiOh. The gas amount that he banked up did not make a lot of sense. He was really pressured by SuperNova's approach with all the Banshees that he built. Lost the pool, lost a lot of his structures, lost Queens, lost Harvesters, also the Evolution Chamber. And then defended, nonetheless, very well against the first push of his opponent. But SuperNova, with all the upgrades that he had, was just in such a great position. Mech upgrades are so expensive, and he was able to get 3-3 while his opponent was on 1 attack and 0 armor upgrades. So a great position for SuperNova, and with the second attack, he just completely crushed YugiOh. Well, that is all true. The last match Creator versus Vampire, Protoss versus Protoss, a matchup where Creator has been dominating right now. He's able to be the champion of WCS for this reason. And only if Vampire loses does anything else happen.
Exactly.
But, you know, with the way things have looked so far, I think it may just happen.
To sum things up once again, SuperNova just played his last match, in his last regular match in the group. So he has 3 wins and he has 2 losses. He is up against, he might face a tiebreaker scenario if Vampire loses Wolf match. If Vampire wins, he has 4 wins and 1 loss. The same as Happy, and he will advance to Code S. But if Vampire loses now to Creator, Creator will be on 3 wins, 2 losses. Vampire will be on 3 wins and 2 losses, and SuperNova. Creator earlier lost to SuperNova, SuperNova lost to Vampire, and Vampire in return lost to Creator. Therefore, we would have a tiebreaker between the 3 of them.
Yes. Well, these 2 players getting ready in the booth. They both have declared that they are done getting ready. They don't need any more time. The countdown has started. The map is Daybreak, a great map for PvP, and actually pretty good for Creator style as well. We'll see what Vampire has in store. If he wins, he just gets automatically right back into Code S.
He knows that he can take the game. He can do it himself. He does not have to rely on anyone else. Will he be able to pull it off against the winner of the WCS Korea? Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It might be the last map of the day. Creator Prime against MVP Vampire. Here at the GSL Up and Downs.